I'll be honest with you, bro. Men, we typically tell women not to deal with you.
Why?
Right? For plenty of reasons, right?
When you talk to so-called pookies, we more braver than the average man. Y'all type of men that sits up there and do what daddy tell you to do. Because at the end of the day, America is all our daddy. But we the more rebellion ones. We are the black man that was created by black women. I think that black women is getting calmer because we are their calmer.
What's up, YouTube? JayBreacts back in with another video. For this segment, we have a Pookie meets a podcast. This podcast was interesting. This Pookie seems to be giving dating advice. For some of y'all, the logic might hit. For me, it ain't. The host tried to stand his ground, give some pushback. To me, it felt like the host was shaking in his boots because at any moment he could possibly be shanked. Please make sure y'all like the video, hype the video, and let's go ahead and dive into the content.
So what would make you want to have 7 kids? And so you still didn't answer the question of how many baby mothers you think there are.
So I got 1, 2, 3. Now that
you don't know offhand?
I got 3 and about 3 possibles.
He already starting off wrong comparing his kids to a hand of spades.
3 and 3 possible. So you did have 2 children with one.
2 children with 1.
That's it, but only once. Yeah, everybody else is all kind of spread.
Well, my youngest at the time, right now, I had 2 of her, but she off one of them.
Oh man, so I did want to ask about.
Just a disclaimer as well, the audio is trash. It sounds like they're like talking through the paper cups with the string attached to the end. FYI, if y'all are curious about that.
This situation. How is it possible for you to be able to afford to care for 7 children?
So I got a food truck.
Okay.
And so with my food truck, I'm waiting on my taxes, I got the custody of my kids, so I'm gonna get them 10 bands coming up this month.
Wait, 10 bands?
Yeah.
Wait, like the
10 bands from them taxes.
The taxes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least you got custody.
Yeah, I got full custody of my
of 3. But you still got 4 more that's like.
Yeah, well, I got 1 on the way. Well,
so you won't stop?
No, I don't plan on stopping.
So how many children do you just gonna keep doing it?
Until God say that's enough, JP.
Really? Okay. All right. So you don't feel like this is irresponsible? Men typically all right, I'll be honest with you, man.
I do what God called me to. I do what God tell me to do, not what man say to.
Do you think that's God that's giving you those voices in your head?
No, yes, because God, no, he didn't give me that voice. He gave me the semen.
I was just gonna ask that question. When people say God told me to do this, yeah, God is speaking towards me. Would God be speaking to someone who is creating broken homes, who not really trying to care for the kids? Or do you feel like that's him, or you feel like that's a higher power telling him to do that?
And the man didn't give me no semen, so how could man tell me not to have kids when he's not the one that gave it to me? God gave me this sperm, and God put it in these women's hearts, and to love me and to be willing to give me the ultimate femininity that a woman could give a man is to lay on her back, to let me put this raw all up in her, and to shoot semen up in her, and then to submit their life in their wombs to walk around for 9 months with my baby. God may illustrate that. Man didn't do that, so he don't got no input.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's a level of responsibility that has to be had, and that's why we have other men here to police other men. That's the thing about it. See, just because God give you the order and the power to be able to do things with your body, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of the people around you. If people don't agree with those type of activities, you might be shunned or worse.
So we've seen you online. You've actually promoted the use of welfare.
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain that?
Oh yeah, I think welfare is a wonderful thing. Now that I got my custody of my kids, I see why black women chose the government over the black fathers. Because at the end of the day, black men can't compete with the government.
So you've applied for welfare yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm on welfare right now. Oh yeah, by the way, I just got $1,000 on my food stuff.
No,
The fact that he whispering, I just got that 1K, is crazy.
Now, hey, listen. So I'll be honest with you, bro.
Hilarious.
Men, we typically tell women not to deal with you.
Why?
Right? For plenty of reasons, right? Just because we feel like the remote father it's detrimental to our youth when you look at what the performance is for every measurable metric. That's one thing. For two, it's impossible for you to give them the amount of time that a man would want to be with his children, because there's certain things that he has to witness. We lead by example, and you have at least 4 that can't. 3, being able to afford them. If you saying, all right, I'm on welfare, then okay, I get it, but it's limited as to what type of lifestyle you can provide. 3, quite frankly, it's dangerous. There are, I don't know what your chart looks like, but potentially you could really get people into that kind of danger.
Saying, nigga, you might have an STD possibly because you seem like you don't get checked.
And 4, you know, you've been in jail a lot, bro. That means you might be likely to mess up someone's lives or lack responsibility.
Great breakdown.
One thing a woman gonna know about me, I'm a stone cold killer. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm a hustler. Number 3, I don't tolerate no from her or her nobody. And number 4, I'm a risk taker. I think risk takers make champions. I think that
certain risks.
When you talk to so-called pookies, we more braver than the average man. We like the American government, like the American military. Everything that I'm doing, the military been doing, the American been doing. It's just that a lot of men, like you say, like y'all type of men that sits up there and do what daddy tell you to do. Because at the end of the day, America is all our daddy, but we the more rebellion ones.
Okay, if you're so rebellious, why don't you rebel in the right way and actually go fight the powers that be instead of fighting the ones in the neighborhoods? See, anytime you hear a guy that say he's brave in the hood and does all these type of activities, you only fighting the ones that usually look like you. Why don't you go fight the opposition, the one you really dislike, and say that you really brave then? See, I don't like these talking points.
We willing to go out there and risk it. We willing to go out there we stand on that corner every day knowing that we finna die or go to jail.
This nigga said the corner.
And we there faithfully. But men like y'all will go to a job and get at that job to the point where your voice not this deep at work. You're gonna mile up your voice. You're gonna talk like this. Hi, my name is Jola Godfrey. you're gonna sound like that. You're gonna cut your hair off. You're gonna do what master tell you to do for them 8 to 12 hours. And then a lot of times it depends on your job. You can't come on this with something like this, a podcast, and speak the way I can, because if it get back to their job, even though you off the clock, you still a representation of them. You're not representing yourself.
That's not true. You got to move with the punches. Granted, certain things online can be risque, but guess what? If you're a leader, you're a leader. You can be a leader at your job. You can be a leader while working at your job, doing other things in your life. You shape being a leader from the way how you carry yourself, not about the place that you might be at the moment, because you might have to work that 9 to 5 until you can get to that next level. Listening to this logic is probably going to send you down a path that's probably not going to be productive for your future.
You the representation of them. So I wouldn't want to live a life. We already black people. We got to live a life and follow all these rules and stuff. But I live in a state of freedom. I get to be myself. And it's not about being a real nigga. It's just about, I'm able to just be. The best trip I ever took was a state of freedom in my mind.
That could be scary for some people.
That's the best place that you could ever visit. I could be with her. And we could just be sitting up there just holding each other and talking to each other. Wake up. What time you want to wake up? 8, about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Very much. Then you know how to read? I just sit between her thighs and watch her read me Sister Soldier.
You know this nigga been institutionalized. This man asked her, can she read? But that's a crazy question to ask somebody. This is why sometimes you have to protect people from themselves, because just because you're free in your mind don't mean that you have peace.
Books all day. We just conversate about all kinds of shit.
See, he is the type of woman he's the type of man that warms up the oven. I know it. I want to ask you one more thing, and then we're gonna probably close this out. You've had a lot of contention with black women lately, right? Could you explain why that is and what you think the problem behind that is?
Black women, by me being a welfare baby, I exposed a lot of stuff that was said about black fathers. And when they said black men were deadbeats and black men ain't first off, black men always have been in the home. The black man never left. His role changed. So a baby daddy, he has more power because he's the father of the kids. He's the father of the home. So what happened was she got rid of that one piece and she got a 4-piece special.
What is that?
So she got rid of the baby fathers and the step dummies came, which we call stepfathers. So in the government, the government is the chicken breast. The stepdaddy is the wing. The stepdaddy is the thigh. The baby daddy, because he still gonna have to pay child support. So he the wing. And everybody in that community, the family is like the leg, and everybody in society gonna feel sorry for her. And those are like the sides, the macaroni and cheese baked with cheddar and Swiss cheese at the time, right?
This man just described the family dynamic, compared it to a Popeye's 3-piece dinner. Crazy.
So now she got her a 5-piece special by eliminating that one. So if you look at it, she really ain't wrong. And so a lot of stuff that black women have said about black men negatively, I was raised up. We are the black men that was created by black women.
I could believe
and I'm not saying that when I say we feminine, I'm not saying that we gay or nothing like that. What I'm saying is we have a feminine upbringing. And I think that people be bullying on us black men that come from the ghetto. Because at the end of the day,
it's not all of y'all, because I came from the ghetto. I grew up in the projects down here in Savannah, Westlake. So I grew up in the projects, and I don't exude all these traits that some of the more extreme, you could say, hoodlums exude.
At the end of the day, you put us in the feminine foundation. You put us there. Y'all fought against our fathers. You in the government, y'all fought against them. And so we was the sons. I was that son that you told the government that you could be his father and his mama. And so I think that black women is getting calmer because we are their karma. Because now, when you kicked out when you put my daddy through that shit, remember you had the family jump him to the point where he said, "F it," and you destroyed his life. So now when I grew up, I became your karma. Everybody in the ghetto is your karma. So when you seen us shooting each other and
karma or karma, because I'm not understanding. Don't beat me up, bro. I'm just trying to make a point.
You're not proud of your sons, or your sons is, I guarantee you, sons is beating up their mamas now, disrespecting their mamas now. It will never happen if they had their daddy. When you signing up, when you chose the government to lead you, it will never happen.
See, this one you so smart, you dumb, because he talking in riddles low key. Because he said if you would have had the father in their life, your kids wouldn't be bad, bro. You literally in situations where you're not taking care of all your kids. So this is crazy. The logic, when you start listening to people when they start saying these things, it don't make sense when you hear it.
We are your karma. So I tell black women to deal with it.
Got it. You had something to say? We're going to wrap it up now, but what are your thoughts after hearing all of this?
My thoughts, like the karma part, I don't know. I just feel like Milwaukee, based like us, it's based off like single women already here. So, and they want the government money and everything, like the food stamps and stuff. But I don't know, the father part, what you say, it depends on the father and how like their mindset and stuff, because some men, they could just be like, it could be their ego. They don't want to take care of no kids at all. Like they just want to be out here to get the kids, and they just only want to give you the money. They only want to give you money. They don't want to spend time with you as a father should. Like they only just want to give you materialistic stuff and just things. I just feel like, yeah.
So, anybody who wants to promote themselves, just give out all your information.
All right, that's the ending. Let's make good men great again. If we could do a campaign, let's make good men great again, because this guy's going to have his logic. And that's why I say this world is made up of many things. You're going to have multiple aspects of people, and you're going to have an area where this type of person fits in a certain type of category. You have to figure out the type that you actually belong to, where you want your people to belong to, your friends, your, surrounding members of your community. What do you want to be involved in? You're not going to be able to wipe this away from the world. It's how do you push yourself to a better ideology? Because when you hear stuff like this, you can say, damn, this person's mindset can be broken. For them, it sounds right, but it can be broken for some. And some things he might have said, you might have resonated with. Comment below if you might have resonated with some of the things he said. Possibly, I would say what someone probably would resonate with was the fact of who's a boss and who's a slave. The 9-to-5er to the entrepreneur. Which, if it boils down to money, which one really does it equate to? Because if you move up in the 9-to-5 world high enough, you can be making still more than what a lot of entrepreneurs make, possibly with even less headache. So it really just depends. Do you want to be more flexible on time? Do you want somebody not to have to beck and call on you? But you always going to be answering to somebody. It don't matter what work you're doing. This is a calling still. I still have to call to do the type of content that I want to do. So whether I'm having to listen to someone or myself, I'm still listening to someone. So that one kind of get thrown out the window for me. But the Pookie mindset, I never resonate with the Pookie mindset. I mean, I grew up in the hood, but I'm not a Pookie, so I just think a little bit different. But I mean, I thought this was a little entertaining. It was still comical at the same time, hearing some of the points. And the host looked like he was scared as hell to ask certain questions. I want y'all to listen to this in its entirety because he also said some crazy things in the beginning, but the main part was more at the end. You could tell the host didn't want to give too much pushback because as you can even see right now, paused on his face, he looks like Marshawn Lynch. He looked like he would jump across his table and rip Buddy in half, just being honest. Even Shawty looked nervous for him, like, just don't ask no more questions. I think it's over. Because it just looked like a crime scene waiting to happen. But like I said, this was comical. Make sure y'all like the video, hype the video. This is your guy, JayBreacts. And until next time, y'all, peace.